Good morning, boys and girls. What another beautiful day in the villages. Sun's are shining. I think it's supposed to be in the mid-80s. Looks like a slight breeze. Yeah. Today's Thursday. I got a meet and greet today, come to think about it, at lunch. Yeah, Sue went to the doctor a while ago, so I thought I'd do this and get this out of the way. Let me pull this a little closer so you make sure my microphone picks me up. I'm sure you all love looking at this. Newsday. I got a couple things to add to Newsday too. Let's do it real quick. I don't want to jack around here too much. Magistrate backs ordinances involving 6,200 acres in villages of Southern Oaks. They'll be changing that whole area down there, Finney, Southern Oaks, DeSoto. As time goes on, they upgrade, they change, they move, they add to it. It's a continuing process. Man nabbed last year in raid in the villages back behind bars on a $184,000 bond. You remember that? Some elderly guy, and I don't remember the exact story, but it was something like this. An elderly guy up in the northern areas of the villages up there. He needed help at his age. I believe it was his niece, maybe. She moved down here with him to help. And she had some shady characters, supposedly, as friends. And somehow they ended up moving in this guy's house. And they were selling drugs out of this house. The neighbors knew there was something going on over there over a period of, I don't know how long they were there, but they were there for quite a while. And they had made several complaints. Nothing was done, but apparently the police and whatever were surveying service. They were watching the house. And then there was a raid. And they arrested all of them, except the older guy, of course. And they got him out. And I think most of them went to jail. Most of them. Some of them may have got bonded out. I don't know, really. I don't remember what happened. You can Google it. So anyway, the old guy, the neighbors came over and they helped the old guy out, mowed his yard, all that kind of stuff to help out to get the house sold. Because he was moved north to other family members, I think, to help take care of him. And then the house was sold to somebody else. I don't know who it was sold to, and I'm sure they bought it and had to fix it up a lot. But anyway, this guy is one of those guys. It was a village of Palo Alto. That's where it was at, where the raid was. And so I don't know how this guy got out, but anyway, he's arrested again and probably was supposed to go to court and didn't show up. That'd be my guess. Controversial MLB star Pete Rose coming to the villages to talk about his legendary career. I like Pete, always did. It was really never proven beyond a doubt that he did anything wrong, even though it didn't look good. But I like Pete, Mr. Hustle. Fruitland Park budget workshop erupts into fracas over mileage rates. I don't care. Proposed Wildwood budget shows healthy growth while cutting property taxes. Yeah, a lot of them are always complaining about the villages growing and growing and growing, and they're saying all this growth is what causes sinkholes because it takes water out of the ground and blah blah. They don't like the idea that pasture ground is gone, and you know, there's always an argument somewhere, but it's not just here. Anywhere that I've ever lived that there was a lot of growth going on, these were the exact same complaints, and it didn't stop it there, and it's not going to stop it here. So, but the good part of the villages is because it's increasing the tax base, especially in Sumter County, so much that they're able to cut property taxes for all the other residents. So, you know, glass half full. 81-year-old villager in ski mask arrested in attack on girlfriend. You gotta be kidding me, you nutball. 81 years old, Jesus Christ. Go home and drink your wine and watch your movie. I'll read a little bit of this. 81-year-old villager wearing a ski mask was arrested early Wednesday morning in an attack on his girlfriend. Derek Britton, who lives at Carib Drive in the village of Santiago, was on the ground wrestling with his girlfriend when a Lake County Sheriff's deputy responded at 3:30 a.m. to her home in Claremont. What the hell are you doing up at 3:30 a.m.? Don't you 81-year-old guys take early naps? Go to bed like at 9 o'clock? Oh, I know, he probably had to get up to pee. The woman had been in bed when her security system notified her of activity outside her home. She viewed footage of her on her tablet and saw a man wearing a ski mask outside. When she went to look for him, he was gone. Now, there again, now why would you go, you see somebody on your thing outside on a ski mask around your house messing around. Now, he's 81, so I'm guessing you're no spring chicken yourself, and you go looking for him? I'm sorry. I mean, it came out okay this way, but the woman had been in bed when her, okay, I read all that. When she went to look for him, he was gone. She received another alert from her security system and rushed outside and saw the man in a ski mask spray painting her home. Twice she ran outside this time. Not smart. She then saw the man attempting to disconnect her security system. The man struck her in the face. They fell to the ground. During that struggle, the ski mask came off and she was able to see it was Britton, B-R-I-T-T-O-N. In other words, she knew the guy. Both of you are stupid. Him stupid doing what he did at 81. You're stupid for at your age to run outside with you. Didn't even know who it was. Didn't know if he had a knife, gun, or whatever. I'm sorry. That's the way I see it. Village's quick action will save $42,000 in tariffs on a pair of new fire trucks. They must have got them ordered before the tariff stuff all kicks in. Woman calls deputy for help after village's bank flags Ford check in her name. A woman living in North Carolina alerted Marion County Sheriff's deputies after discovering someone had forged a check in her name and tried to cash it at Citizens First Bank in the Villages. Sheriff's social media post triggers tips leading to arrest of suspect shoe theft at Beals. Let me see where we at. Villagers worried about falling home values after sudden appearance of three-story monopole. Oh, that's up there by the fire station there. What is that, Bonita Pass or something like that right there? And there's a CDD offices are there. That's where I worked. And the training for most of those CDD people, not all, but it's right there at that fire station and other stuff. I'm going to guess that that monopole is for communications because the Finney area is starting to get, way down there, and the villages is getting so broad now that they're probably upgrading the communications between the firehouses and maybe the CDD people, the home watch people, because they're all on, I don't know what to call it, some kind of a network where they talk to each other all the time. So anyway, let me show you a picture of that real quick. Come on, focus. Anyway, see that pole right there? That's at the offices up there. That's what they're complaining about. Former Trump's, never mind. I ain't done it. Prominent attorney in the Villages arrested after found sleeping in car at intersection. You're an attorney. What's the matter with you? I hope the key wasn't in the ignition. Read that one. This is in Ocala. This isn't anywhere in the villages, but Ocala is about 23 miles north of us. Man charged with kidnapping teen with special needs from mobile home park in Ocala. Put him away. No questions asked, just put him away. Residents packed villages meeting over problematic pond drained by repeated sinkholes. Stephen Ducey of Fox and Friends to join wife in cookbook signing in the villages. All that's done up there at the bookstore. Can't think of what it's called. I don't go there. Whatever. It's all up there at Lake Sumter. Cost mounting in CDD 4 at site of sinkholes where villages' homes still in limbo. That's an ongoing legal battle up there. It's the same thing, the same sinkhole, nothing's changed, but the lady hasn't tore down the house or anything, which is a violation of her deed restrictions. Once again, when you go into an area, educate yourself in your district, wherever it's at. Read your deed restrictions. Know what they are before anything happens or before you do anything. Villages fire station forced to shut down due to concern about air quality. Wine bottle toting Ocala woman jailed after a violent attack on juvenile. Some people are just nuts. I'm sorry, they're just mentally nuts. Man banned from swimming pool into villages after young visitors report feeling uncomfortable. You know, this has happened before in different pools. Anything's really ever come of it. But people, when you have visitors, your children, grandchildren come down here, just don't send them willy-nilly to the family pool with your golf cart. Say, yeah, there's my golf cart, just going up to the pool and have fun. You ought to be up there and just kind of, if nothing else, sitting in a chair, reading your book, and just kind of keeping an eye on everything, because these children get approached almost all the time, but they get approached. And they're your guests, and this is where you live. And I would think that my grandchildren never go to that pool up there that there isn't an adult sitting right there keeping an eye on them. Me, my wife, my daughter-in-law, my son, or all of us. We're sitting there. They're having fun, we're having fun, and we're just there. That's all. Because I know these things happen around here, and you just need to beware. And I don't know. I mean, some people think they're inside a totally protected area, and in some cases you are, but things happen. Let me read a little bit of this story. A 48-year-old man has been banned from a swimming pool in the villages after young visitors reported he made them feel uncomfortable. They're still ongoing investigating here. Nobody's been found guilty yet, but I'm saying something's going on here. Lady Lake Police responded last week to the pool at Paradise Recreation Center. That's way up there on the historic side, where a New Jersey woman reported that her 20-year-old daughter and 17-year-old son have been approached by the man on more than one occasion since August the 4th. The young visitor said the man appeared to be friendly in nature, but things quickly became awkward and uncomfortable, according to an incident report from the police department. The man told the visitors personal information about himself. Well, you know, that in itself is kind of normal. Old people like to talk. And told them he was staying in his father's house near Silver Lake and will be alone for a few days while his father travels. So far, to me, that's no big deal. The man also asked them a lot of questions about themselves and asked them where their parents were. I don't know. I wasn't there on that situation. That question could be a little borderline, maybe. The man invited them to hang out at a scheduled hot tub. On one occasion, when the visitors felt so uncomfortable that they felt they had to leave, the man asked them when they would be back at the pool again so he could meet up with them. See, it escalates. Now it's starting to sound, I understand, now it's starting to sound a little weird. They noted the man had to come to the pool in a white golf cart with sliding glass doors and a maroon bottom. The police officer went to the man's home where he told the police officer he talked to the visitors but claimed he was just being friendly. And that may be the exact truth. Old people, especially older people, they have a tendency to sometimes they're lonely, especially if they live by themselves, and they talk and they talk and they talk and they just keep talking. And I've walked away from conversations with people that I don't even know, and I know too much. You know what I'm saying? They just told me things that I didn't even, not only did I not want to know, I just didn't even care to know. When they had their last surgery, who their doctor was, whether they didn't like the guy or not, hasn't seen their daughter in 5 years. You know, she's a drug. They go on like that, and I'm sitting there being nice and say, yeah, well, that's too bad. You know how it is. And what do? I mean, you just make an excuse to leave. That's what I do. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta pick my wife up. Whether I do or don't, that's what I tell them when I leave. So yeah, well, anyway, he was banned. People say, how can they ban you? Well, they can. When you're a resident and you've got that resident card, it's barcoded. And whenever you get by, like let's say you become a priority membership, you're not going to get a special pass to be a priority membership. You just give them a check for whatever it costs, and they get on the computer, they get your residence ID number, and all that is attached to that card. So that's it. That card, when they scan it, that card shows everything that you either pay for, do, or whatever. And anytime something happens, they ban you, let's say, from the squares, and they can. We have 3 squares, soon to be 4, Brownwood, Lake Sumter, and Spanish Springs, and there's been people that's caused enough trouble in them squares that the recreation department will ban you. So that when a guy walks around with that scanner and he randomly, if there's a complaint, that guy over there, he's been a problem. The police will come over there, they'll pull a guy aside, and generally there's a villager, the CDD people in the trucks show up. They'll scan that card, and if he's been banned at that square, he's arrested, or he's told to leave and never come back. Or if he causes enough trouble, they will take that residence card's ID and everything and the information off of that, and then later they might decide to ban him. Not only from the village's squares, but they could ban him from any village's recreation department or any village's property, which means you can't go on to a square, you can't go to any pool, you can't play any golf, but you're still required to pay those amenity fees. You know, so that's the punishment. So when somebody says they can't legally do it, yes they can. They've done it before. If it ever happens to me, which I don't think it will, but if it did, I'd probably just sell my house and move out. Fruitland Park launching investigation into employees' complaint against Commissioner Summerfield Realtor arrested on sexual molestation charges involving 3 juvenile brothers. God. Fruitland Park gives final okay to ordinance allowing golf carts to remain on Dixie Avenue. That's been an ongoing situation there too. Alright, I think that's it. Here's a couple of messages from inside the bubble. While some people are not happy about how much the villages has grown and plans to grow in the years to come, one nice benefit to all the growth is that local cities, counties are able to cut property taxes for residents. We just talked about that. That's so true. That's so true. It's going to happen. You can't stop. You just can't stop progress. It's going to happen. So somehow reap some of the benefits when you can. Okay, I read that one. Let me try this one. In recent weeks, we've covered the future expansion plans for the villages, new roads coming to the villages, as well as the expansion of several public safety departments to handle all the additional people and issues that will come from that. One thing we haven't covered is how Community Watch will keep step with all of the growth. They've already kept step. They've already, I think, purchased more vehicles. They've already hired more part-time people down at Finney. I talked to one of them. I wish I'd have recorded it, but I didn't. And so things are moving on like they always do. They just expand their territory, hire a few more people, buy a couple of more trucks, and it just goes on. I'm sure they're going to have to upgrade their some of their equipment, maybe add on a little bit of communication equipment to make it a little better to reach further out. I don't know how they do that, but cameras at the gates, they're going to have to add some cameras to the gates down there. Maybe they already have, I don't know that. But as the new guarded gates come in, they'll have to add more cameras, more computers, more equipment. By the way, while we're talking about the book, Inside the Bubble, in case I ain't ever mentioned, I mentioned this book many times. It's a great book. There's a lot of information in it. But this guy at Inside the Bubble, you can go to that website, insidethebubble.co. He has many books. One of them is books on other retirement communities. I don't remember what it's called, but it has other things in there about how to choose the right retirement community for you. Like around here, there's the Del Webb across the street. There's Stonecrest. There's On Top of the World that probably a lot of you've heard about. I've been over there. I don't even know how many there are around. They're down here in Florida. They're just seem like around every corner there's a retirement community of some kind. Across the street there's one over called the Continental Country Club. That's an older Florida retirement community. I played golf over there. It's old Florida, but it's nice. Geez, I don't know all the other ones around here. I don't get around that. There's one down the road down here. I can't think of the name of it, so I guess that's useless information. So anyway, there's a lot of them down here, and you got a lot of things to choose from. He's got a book that I think lists a lot of these around here and talks about each one of them and what they offer and things like that. And there's a lot of information on his books. And the one that I wanted to refer to, because I know that softball was big here. It's almost as big as pickleball or as big as golf. I read a little bit, it's in this book. And it talks about all the different activities here. So softball. Baseball might be America's pastime, but softball is the village's pastime. There are over 200 registered softball teams that compete across the villages. 200. I had no idea there was 200 teams. With that amount of interest, there are leagues and teams open for any skill level. There are highly competitive traveling teams, as well as relaxed leagues that focus more on the social aspect of the game. That'd probably be more me. I'd be the guy sitting in the dugout, drinking a beer, waiting for my turn to swing a bat. If you have ever had the desire to play ball, there is a team for you located in the villages. The softball program at the villages is organized and managed by the recreation department, which is Mr. Rohan. He is the king of the recreation department. The Knudsen softball field is located on the historic side north of Highway 441 next to Paradise Regional Recreation Center. The Saddlebrook softball complex has 4 fields and is also just off of Buena Vista Boulevard near the village's polo fields. Yeah, we have a polo field. The Buffalo Glen softball complex, also with 4 fields, is on Highway 446 near the village's charter high school. Opened in 2015, the Soaring Eagle softball complex, that's the one nearest me, on Morris Boulevard, just north of State Road 44, has 2 fields, bringing the total of softball fields in the community to 11. And with the building going on, I hesitate to say that in the future there's probably going to be some more added on here and there. I do know down at Finney, they either do have or going to have a soccer field. But it's going to be used for other things too. But it's basically a soccer field. That's new to all of the villages. That's the only one that I know of. So apparently there's been a lot of interest in soccer playing down here amongst the elderly. And yeah, they're going to have that. There's a lot going on. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. I'm not a big soccer fan at all. I find it kind of boring, actually. But when they do have a game down there, I do intend to go, and I do intend to video, and do intend to comment, and show it, and you guys use your own judgment what you think. I went to a polo game when they first opened that up. It wasn't a professional game, so to speak, but it was like Little League. The Citizens First Bank was against, I don't remember, some insurance company or something. So, but it was interesting. I got a chance to see what it was, how it worked. Got a bite to eat while I was there, a hot dog and a couple of beers, I think. Personally, I found the game boring. I couldn't sit in my seat very long. I had to get up and walk around. I didn't like it. That's me. But I did take video and I did show it to some friends. They liked it. And I don't know if they go anymore or not, but yeah, they liked it. They go to the professional games. When the team from South America comes up here and plays, I don't know who all they play. I guess those are the ones you want to watch, is those. The Village's softball program is comprised of 3 different types of leagues. Villages can participate in recreation leagues, neighborhood leagues, or travel leagues. Each of these types of leagues offer a different level of competitiveness and skill, and there really is a place for anyone and everyone. The recreation leagues offer a fun and competitive environment for players of all skill levels. These leagues play twice per week and have 3 different seasons per year, and they are fall, winter, and summer sessions. The neighborhood leagues are designed to provide social atmosphere for residents of the different neighborhoods to get to know each other better. These games are played on Saturdays, and again, there are 3 different seasons each year. The travel leagues are the most competitive leagues available to villagers. They are not sponsored by the Recreation Department, but anyone interested can find more information at the Saddlebrook Recreation Center. These leagues generally play once or twice per week, but games and travel schedules vary depending on the league. There you go. Anyway, that's from the book Inside the Bubble, written by Ryan Erisman. I've pushed this book many, many times. I find it fascinating that there's so much information in there. You might check out his website too, for those of you that's really not interested in the villages for one reason or another. And he's got books on other areas, other places to go, and what's there, and how it works, and stuff like that. So go to his website, www.insidethebubble.co. He may even have another website somewhere, and if he does, if you go to that website, I'm sure that there's something there that'll point you the right direction. If you want this book that I just showed you, this one, I don't know the price on it, sorry, but I do know that I can get you a $10 discount. I believe it's a $10 discount. If you go to www.insidethebubble.co, not .com, .co/skip. And that'll take you to the website to get a $10 discount. So on that, I'm going to say, I'll see all of you guys on the other side. Have a great day. I'm going to have a great day. I got a meet and greet today at noon for lunch. And all I can say is,
hi everybody, we're here at Mallory Square, and I just had a meet and greet and had some lunch. And here's our favorite server, and your name is?
Fee.
And what do you got to say?
Hi Mallory, hi everybody.
And we'll both see you
In the other side.
on the other side.
Yeah, in the
Thank you.
Bye-bye.